how Capgemini, SEL, and KPIT actually score you, and why two equally fluent students get different results. Two students sit for the same version test, and both sound equally confident to anyone listening in the room, and they walk away with completely different scores. This happens far more often than you would expect, and today I am going to explain exactly why this so. Here is something most students never find out, and your final version score is not one single number based on a general impression. It is actually four separate scores combined together, which means you could be excellent in one area and only average in another, and still end up with a perfectly good final score. Once you know this, it changes how you should think about your weak points. And here is a threat. If you do not understand how this scoring actually works, you might spend all your preparation time in the wrong direction. So, polishing your accent, for example, when accent barely matters here, while the one area that is actually pulling your score down gets no attention at all. So let's fix this right now. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sangeeta Kumar. I have worked closely with placement cells and reviewed the process like this with hundreds of students across different companies. And the pattern in where students lose usually their marks is far more predictable than most people realize. Here is the second thing, and this is worth knowing before we do deeper into it. Different companies set different cutoff scores for the same test based on the kind of role you are being hired for. A voice process or client facing role usually needs a higher score than a purely technical back end role. So the passing score is not fixed. It depends on how and what you are applying for, and I'm going to show you exactly what that look like. So stay till the end because I'm going to explain what actually pulls a score down, even when someone sounds very fluent. So subscribe the channel right now and share it with your friends if you new here, and get the insights out of this video, where I put out practical placement content every week, and I have also dropped a link in the description here. You can go through and practice exactly what we are covering today. Your score is four scores, not one. Every response you give across the test feeds into four separate measurements. Sentence mastery checks your grammar in spoken sentences. Vocabulary checks whether you use common words or correct word at the right time at the right place. Your fluency checks your pace and rhythm, and your pronunciation checks how clearly your words came through. So these four are combined to give you a better result, and you are scoring something very exclusive on a fixed scale that the test uses. But here is a part that matters the most. You can be strong in three of these and weak in just one. And that one weak area can quietly pull your entire score down. So more than you would expect. So here is, instead of practicing English broadly, try to identify which out of these areas is actually your weakest, and give that specific area more attention than the other one. That naturally leads to the next question. How do you actually find out which one is yours? Finding your own weak area? Record yourself doing a few practice sentences and listen back honestly. If your grammar goes shaky, not correct when you speak quickly, even though it's fine, When you write, your weak area is likely sentence mastery. If you often pause to think of the right word or keep reaching for the same simple words, that points to vocabulary. If you speak in short bursts with lots of gaps or sound like filler words, or rush so fast your words blur together, that's your fluency issues. And if people sometimes ask you to repeat yourself in conversation, or certain sounds are consistently unclear, that points to your pronunciation. So most students actually have one clear weak area, not all four weak ones. So finding that one area and working on it specifically is far more effective than generally practicing English for hours and with no direction. So this week, spend one day just listening back to your own recorded voice very honestly. Most students discover their real weak area is different from what they assume it was. So why this fluency matters
The
more
automated
than
assessment
you would
evaluates spoken
expect.
language proficiency.
Out of
I will do
these
my
three,
best to
four
answer every
areas,
question.
fluency is one that surprises students the most because it has nothing to do with your vocabulary or your grammar. So it is purely about your pace and your smooth functioning. So a student with simple vocabulary and basic grammar and baby sentences spoken smoothly and steadily can often score better on this test than a student with excellent vocabulary who keep pausing while searching for the right word. This is exactly why translating in your head before you speak hurts. Every second you spend translating from your first language is a pause the fluency score notices. So if you catch yourself translating in your head before you speak, this is the habit that you need to work on very first, even before your vocabulary or your grammar. And if you want to actually practice catching that habit in your real time, the practice link in the description here has built exactly what you're looking for. So why cutoffs differ between companies to companies? They do not expect all the same score because the role itself is different. A role with regular voice calls to international clients will usually need a noticeable higher score than a role than mostly back-end development with occasional team. Some companies also use this test as just one of several factors, while others treat it as a strict pass or fail gate before anything else is even considered. So this is why you might hear that a friend cleared a similar test with a certain score at one company, while you need a higher score for a different company or role. So even though the test itself feels identical, it is not the test that changed, it is what company needs from the role. So don't compare your score directly to your friends unless you are applying for the exact same company and the same role. The bar genuinely shifts depending on what the job actually requires. Sounding fluent versus actually scoring well. And here is something that trips up naturally confident speakers specifically. A student who speaks fast and confidently but restarts sentences often or trails off at the end, so can sound impressive one to a friend while still losing marks in this automated score. So because the system is measuring specific technical things about your speech pattern, not your overall impression. This is why practicing in front of a recording, not just in front of people. Because people respond to your confidence and your energy, but the system responds to your actual pace and your pauses, whether you finish your sentences or so you practice in front of a recording, not just in front of your friends. What sounds confident to a person and what scores well on this test are related, but they are not always exactly the same thing. The honest part is, I know this can feel a little unfair when you first hear it, that a machine is deciding something this is important about your future based on very specific technical measurements or whatever your performance in real time. I understand that feeling completely, but here is what I want you to hold on to. Once you understand how this scoring actually works, you have a real, specific way to prepare yourself, not just a vague hope that good English will be enough. So, students who understand these four areas and practice with real direction consistently score better than students who simply hope for the best on the day. So, this is not a mystery test with a hidden answer. It measures four specific learning things. Learn what they are, and you can genuinely prepare for every single one of them. So remember this, your version score is four scores, not one. Find your weakest area and give it real focused attention this week. So tell me in the comment here, after listening to this video of mine, which of the four areas do you think is your weakest one? I read every comment and I genuinely want to know from you. And before you go, the practice link is in the description here. Use it today, not the night before your test. If this gave you a real clarity on how this test actually works, subscribe the channel right now, and I am covering the specific mistakes that quietly fail students on this round, along with complete checklist to run through right before your test in upcoming video. That's all for the day. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.